Hi everyone and welcome back to the Bodcast. Carrie's here and Ian is also here.
Hello.
Welcome back everybody.
Thank you.
No, not you. So this is episode 20. As we mentioned last week, we'll be going through the first round of 2021 review results from Lego Ideas, which came out last week, so we couldn't talk about them because they were a bit late. So we'll talk about them this week.
Well, even if they'd have come out on time last week, we still couldn't talk about them.
That's true.
Because we record on the Wednesday.
Did they come out on the Thursday?
They were meant to come out on the Thursday and then got delayed to the Friday.
True. Okay. Right. So, if you haven't already found out, the winners were the Jazz Quartet, the Office, and a possible Snow White's cabin thing. Snow White's house? Snow White's cottage. Cottage. I'm going with cottage.
It's not hers, it's the dwarves.
Dwarves Cottage from Snow White might be chosen, but they're still reviewing that one.
Yeah.
Right. So, thoughts, Ian?
I have many.
You have many.
What should we talk about first?
Let's talk about the Jazz Quartet being a winner.
So, yeah, I like the Jazz Quartet one. It's a nice little model, but I don't know if we'd buy it.
No, we wouldn't buy it because where would we put that?
Yeah, it's definitely a display piece. But as display pieces go, it's quite nice.
It is, and it's very different.
It is. And it's not... So where you've got a display piece where it's just trying to be something else. So like it's trying to be a typewriter.
Yes.
That I don't see the point of. You can buy a typewriter.
Yeah, or you could buy a grand piano or a
Yeah.
Stratocaster or Stratocaster, depending on how you like to say that.
But for this, I'm sure you can buy little
Figurines,
figurines,
yeah.
jazz figurines and stuff like that. But there's no obvious place you would go to buy one that looks like the Lego set.
No, because the Lego set looks like Lego.
Yeah.
But I think that it's well done.
It is.
My concern with it is that he already entered it into a different competition. Now you can see that on other contests they've disallowed projects because they've been used elsewhere. So it kind of feels like for the contests there's a strict rule of you can't reuse an idea. But for Lego Ideas as a whole, you can. Is that fair?
I don't see why not.
So, also, the fact that he did so well in that contest, I heard someone mention that they wanted to pick his set for the Music to My Ears contest, or to your ears, or whatever, and that they couldn't. So, did that not give him an unfair advantage going in, that they had already seen it and decided they liked it, and therefore went, oh, it's back again and we love it, we'll have that?
I don't know. I mean, is it the same team who review it? When they're looking at it, would they be reviewing it from different points of view?
I suppose. Well, I kind of felt like it sort of meant he was a bit more of a shoo-in than other ideas would be.
I mean, it kind of seems a little... Well, so in some ways it seems unfair. If he won anything from the competition, which I don't know if he did or not.
I don't think so, no.
Because, well, often they have the first place and then second place and third place will win something.
I said runner-up. I didn't check that. That's one thing I didn't actually look.
So if you won something from that, then being able to win something again in Lego Ideas is a bit off. But then, you can resubmit the set multiple times into Lego Ideas, and as long as each time you get it into 10K, and you've shown that there's some change.
Yeah, changes. There has to be changes. So there was a change from the contest to this, where he is added in that base, which actually I do think sort of hinges it together a lot more. And I'm guessing that he was able to do that because there's a bigger piece count or something.
It's possible.
Because otherwise it looked a little bit more precarious for the contest, especially the person. He had to use a plate to sort of hold them up.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's just stood on the base.
By person, you mean trumpeter?
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's 4 people
the
in it.
non-sitting down person, yeah.
The trumpeter.
Is that what you call trumpeters? I don't know, the word trumpeter it just sounds funny now. Trumpeter.
Trumpeter. Okay, so the trumpeter was a bit precarious. So he's changed it.
Trumpet
it's gone
player.
through. He's got it into 10K. I think that's okay. But yeah, because I mean these sets where they go in multiple times and they make a small change each time and they then win the next one. So, through Lego Ideas, you win a substantial amount for hitting 10K. it's $500 worth of Lego.
Yeah.
So it's not a small prize. So,
Well, that could just keep funding your Lego habit.
well, yes.
Ooh, we should do this. Sorry.
You don't like my mock?
Behave. If anyone wants to see Ian's mock, check him out on Instagram. I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'm not going to talk about it here. But you can go and look at his Instagram page. I don't think he's serious. It's very wrong.
Yeah.
Moving on. So talking of getting the same set or the same idea through multiple times, I guess that takes us to The Office.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on the fact that that has finally made it through, having been through by several different people many times?
So,
I'd like to tell you how many times, by the way, but the Lego website, Ideas website, is such a pain to navigate.
Yeah.
I could only find 5. I don't know how many there actually has been.
So, I think it's slightly weird. And part of that is we don't know why it was turned down all the previous times. I don't think it's because of the design. You know, the design isn't all that important on Lego Ideas in some ways.
Because it's
You
going to
need a
get
good
changed.
design to get to the 10k, but then the Lego Ideas team will take it and run with it in whatever direction they want.
Yeah.
So any office-based set that garnered 10k, they could turn into a set that looked like the show.
Yeah. And the way that they like to do it for all the other sets we've seen.
Yeah. So I don't think it's based on the design. So is it based on what they thought was good at the time? Maybe they were unsure about sitcoms, but then with the success of Big Bang Theory, Friends, Seinfeld, I'm sure there's another one. Maybe not.
Yeah, I can't think of one.
No. But the success of those means that they went, oh, we'll do this and it'll probably do well. Or is it a licensing issue that Lego wanted to do it but couldn't get the license?
Was there someone else who had The Office?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it is possible that they wanted to do it, couldn't get the license, and therefore reject it each time. And to me, that seems stupid. If they can't get the license...
And don't allow the things to be submitted in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's that, you know, the license is technically available, but they decide in the review they don't want to pay for it, then that's different. That's a perfectly valid thing for them to turn around and say, no, we don't want it. So, you know, if it was based on a Disney film, you know, Lego can get the rights to the Disney film.
Yeah.
But they might not want to if they don't think the price is going to be worth it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, if it's well, someone else has that license, there's no way we can get it, therefore they shouldn't be entered in the first place.
Because they're just shelling out 500 quid each time for
And
something that
disappointing
they can't use.
people each time. If you consider that this is, from what we can see, a very popular set. Lots of people have wanted it, so lots of people have been disappointed each time.
Yeah.
So maybe Lego need to be more transparent with why they're turning down sets.
Yes, I think so. But then, to some extent, is it that they're not turning down sets? They're just saying these are the only ones we can afford to do, and therefore there isn't necessarily a reason for some of the others.
Maybe.
So, one of the things they said is that they've currently got 8 ideas sets in the pipeline.
Yeah.
And that's quite a lot for them. So I was wondering if we could play a quick game. Can you name the 8 sets? And so if you're listening, you can also pause this right now and have a think, write them down and see if you can guess the 8.
Okay, so...
Wait. I'm going to tick them off as you go.
Okay, so the next one coming out is the Home Alone set.
Yes, I think that does count.
Yeah. After that, I think it's the Globe.
Yeah. Well, I haven't got them in order, so
Haven't
don't
got
feel
them
like
in
you need
order,
to do them in order.
shocking.
Do you know how long it took me to find these things? Because,
Yeah.
again, the Lego Ideas website, not the best.
Oh, they're listed on Wikipedia. If you go to the
you're
Wikipedia
kidding me.
page for Lego Ideas...
That would have been so much easier.
Yeah.
Hang on, you've researched this. This isn't fair.
I've not looked at this recently.
Okay.
I'm trying to think what the other sets that we're expecting are.
Yeah, you've got 2 so far out of 8.
Yep, so from the previous one there was the Lighthouse.
The Lighthouse, yeah.
Was that the only one that made it through from that?
Yes, and everyone was very upset.
Yeah.
Although it didn't. Oh, I'm not helping you.
Okay. So we've got the Sonic one.
Yeah, that's the one they sweetened the deal with.
Yeah.
We only picked one, but this is coming.
And I can't think. So I've got the next 2 coming out, which is Home Alone and Globe, and then the last ones that got through, which are Lighthouse and Sonic. So it's the 4 in the middle.
Now, I think there's 3 that are not ideas
Oh,
main
okay.
reviews. I'm assuming that's how it's made up because I can't find any other ideas projects that haven't come out yet.
Oh, okay.
So it's the ones that are like contests or the gift with purchase ones. So does that help you
Oh,
at all?
okay. So there's the cardboard box spaceship.
Yeah, USS Cardboard.
Had the sailboat from the holiday
We
one.
have.
It's a Christmas one.
When you say holiday one,
It's like vacation or something, wasn't it?
okay. I think there's another one that's along a similar theme.
I don't know.
I've got Ray the Castaway, gift with purchase.
No idea about that one.
There was the sport one. Do you remember what the sport one was?
Oh, was that the table football one
Yeah,
that was
foosball.
revealed on LegoCon, wasn't it?
Oh, was it?
Mm.
Didn't know that.
Well,
And then
definitely featured on that.
there
Maybe it
is
wasn't a reveal.
another ideas, like a main ideas one that you haven't got. People weren't overly pleased with it. Very flat.
Oh, the Starry Night.
Yeah, not flat. I mean, I'll give it credit. It's got some good texture going,
Yeah.
but it's not really
Yes.
a big building set. It's more of an art thing.
That's quite an interesting one.
Yes, I think so. But won't fit in our city.
Yes. So I've heard people complain that one of the problems they have with ideas is that they don't have an ideas team.
No, they're
So
just picking and choosing
have,
from
They obviously have the team that does the
plot.
website and all of that stuff, but the designing of the sets isn't a team. I don't know who does the reviews, but how that works is they come up with the idea and then they go around and like borrow people from different teams depending on what they're working on. And in some cases they've had people come up and say, I really want to work on this. So I think the Winnie the Pooh set, they specifically had that. People from the Disney team went, we really want to work on this.
Right.
So the teams are built.
So what? So they approved it because they had a team?
No,
Or
I
they'd
think
already
after it'd been
decided-
approved, or whenever people in Lego find out.
Right.
So I think, the problem they've got is that if you created a specific team to work on all the ideas sets, they're so varied.
Yeah.
You would need so many different specialists.
It would
I
be a big
assume.
team, and that would need to be
Yeah.
used elsewhere in Lego.
Yeah.
They can't afford to have all those skills
Yeah.
just locked into one team.
So I don't know how specific the skills get within designers, but if you've got a minifig specialist and then you've got the sets that don't have minifigs in, what do they do?
What are they doing
during
in that time? Yeah,
Just,
exactly. It's just wasting.
and then you can say they could have then multiple things in parallel, and so they would be working on whichever of the sets needs minifigures.
Could they just not have as much of a? I mean, they don't have a very clear time frame, but if there's a set they really want to do and they don't have the people ready to do it right now, why can't they approve it? And it just takes 3 years to come. Is that going to cause more of a annoyance for people waiting on that idea?
I guess so. There's also the fact that things can change. If they said, "Oh, we really want to do this idea," but then they can't do it for 3 years, and it's an IP-based one, and after that 3 years, the IP's gone to someone else, and they can't do it. But they've already committed to the person that they're going to do it.
Yeah, and that's all sort of contract-based, and
Yeah.
which is why we talked about The Office. They couldn't split the money because the deal is you get a percentage, or 1%, not 0.5% kind of thing. And Lego are not one to be giving away 2%, are they?
Probably not.
It's all very tricky.
Yeah.
Of this round, I counted about 9 sort of modular type things that were never going to get approved, big buildings and things, and 5 castles.
Yeah.
People really love the castles.
They do. But we think there's 2 castles coming out next year. You've got the Bricklink Invitational Castle, which
people can't buy.
People can't buy.
So don't get their hopes up again.
But that will actually start shipping in January for the people who got it in the first block. Well, I think in January for everyone for the castle.
Yeah, because there wasn't a first block and a second block.
Yeah, the second block sets are coming summertime. We won't talk about how frustrating it is that it takes them so long to do that. But then we also suspect that the winner of the 90th anniversary set is going to be a castle one.
But
And
we
I've
don't
heard,
know.
Well, I've heard really weird things about this. So people have, for some reason, people think that it's not who wins the vote that gets the set.
What?
They think that the vote is going to be, it's for Lego, and then Lego are going to look at the results and then build the sets that they want.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that.
And that is because Lego specifically said that the first round of the voting would be transparent and the second round wouldn't.
Yeah.
But all transparent means is that you can see who's voting, how much votes are coming in live, and you can see the results immediately.
So you can influence the... Like,
Yeah.
you can use that to influence your decision. Like, oh, I won't vote for them because they've got no hope in hell of actually winning. I'll vote for one that's in the running.
And you can, campaign and say, oh, look, the one in second place is close, we just need this kind of thing, to make it more of a race.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that the results for the second one aren't going to be shown. And
no.
So it makes sense that the results will be shown and the top set will be the one that we get.
Yeah, because otherwise, why did they do it?
Yeah.
Why ask your people what they want and then completely ignore it? I mean, Lego may have form on this, but yeah, what's the point?
Yeah. So I think we are going to see a castle next year, Big Link Invitational Castle as well. So therefore, all these other castles coming through from Lego Ideas, they wouldn't pick another one now. They've not picked ones in the past. They're going to pick ones in the future? Probably not. I mean, this year we got the 3-in-1 castle, so there's quite a lot of current castle stuff going on.
Just people really, really do love castles.
And then you've got the problem of, if you pick a castle, which castle do you pick?
Yeah.
Because again, we've said that the actual design of it doesn't really matter. They just go, here's a castle. It might have a specific feature that would then go into the product, but that's going to be such a minor thing, like whether it has a water wheel on the side or, something like that. Yeah, you've got to work out who to pick. And that, going back to The Office, there's controversy over, well, they picked this one from this person when there was a second one in there. We know that they could pick either of those, produce the same set at the end of it, and attribute it to either.
Yes. So I think they went with the one that had done it before and done it.
So looking the first one.
I don't know if he's the first one because, again, the Lego Ideas website is not easy to navigate, so I couldn't really work that out. But he has done it 3 times, and that's all he's ever done. He's got 3 sets, all to 10k. And it's 3 office sets. And he's changed them quite significantly each time. So the second one was, or the final one is a lot smaller than the ones before. Right. Because he's gone, right, this seems to be in line with what the sets Lego actually are producing are like. So I'll make it more like that. So he is actually sort of, I don't know if they do get the feedback and they just don't tell us, but he's been taking on board what he sees as the reason that he's not been getting through and changing it. Okay. So I think that's probably why that one was picked over and above.
I did hear he was the first one to get the set to 10k.
That is what I heard.
Yeah,
but I can't
prove that because Ideas sucks.
Yeah.
Presumably you can go back and look at the previous 10k ones. Those are normally
but
not through the Lego Ideas site, but through other websites.
This is the thing that the blog posts are chronological order. You can't search for a date, you can't search for a topic. It's just, here's the latest blog post. It's just so frustrating. So, of the sets that weren't picked, do you think they made any mistakes, and which ones are you sad about?
I don't think so.
I would have liked to see the Nightmare Before Christmas, purely because it would have been a good Christmas present for my niece. Yeah. She would love it. And also I thought it was really well done.
I quite like the airship.
Yes, although people have sort of said that doesn't look feasible. They can't work out how it's being supported by those ladders. I
don't know. It could be supported by those ladders. It depends on how heavy that top section is and how well braced those ladders are. But yeah, it could be different. Chitty Chitty Bang Bang was...
Yeah, I like the look of that build. I'm always disappointed by the modulars because those are the ones I like. But I also am always prepared that they're not going to get through because I know. Yeah. The one that I thought that Lego would pick, which I was surprised not to see, was the violin. Purely because it fits in with sort of the Lego Ideas previous rounds. Yeah. So I was very surprised that one didn't get through. It looks good. It looks like a violin, and I would imagine it's probably more in line with like the correct scale for a violin based on. Yeah,
but they don't do correct scale stuff, do they? No, that's
true. So
I mean, the piano wasn't, the guitar wasn't. Why would the violin be?
In fact, it says there 1-to-1 lifestyle. But otherwise, I think I'm fine. So I was disappointed that I was wrong, and I'm disappointed not to get all the beautiful buildings. But other than that, I can live with this result, I think.
Yeah. I mean, was Totoro one of the ones that they could have done? I don't know which nationality that is.
I think it's Japanese.
You think it's Japanese?
Yeah, but I don't know.
But because they are doing a big push in Asia,
Yeah.
so would choosing an Asian theme be a good idea? And that's a fairly small set, it looks. So it could be one of the cheaper ones, you know, I think.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli is Japanese. I would know. I knew I was right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that one had a chance from that. I mean, but it does seem Lego Ideas is very much aimed at the US adults.
Yeah, it does seem to be.
So the Office set, we assume, is going to be based on the US Office.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, there are offices all around the world.
You
as
mean
in
the Office?
The Office series has gone all around the world.
Yeah.
So it could possibly be that they create a set and then do people packs, depending on which nationality you want.
I'm guessing, though, that the concept was the same, but the set design and stuff would be different as well. So it wouldn't just be the people. Yes, okay, an office is an office is an office,
but you could include Easter eggs from all of the different ones.
Yeah, and then if it's not your one, you just wouldn't get it, kind of thing.
I mean, I think wasn't the first series of the US Office basically a scene-for-scene remake of Series 1 in the UK?
No idea.
It was then, that didn't do that well. So in the second series, they went in and decided to do kind of a rewrite of it, so following the similar theme, but taking it in a very more American way.
Yeah.
But so based on that, presumably the first series sets would look fairly similar.
But if that's not the one that did well, that's probably not what people want.
Yeah.
Have you got any other thoughts, Ian?
Well, so we've not really talked about Snow White yet, have we?
Oh, of course, Snow White. I totally forgot about that one.
Yeah. So this is one of those ones where they've not said yes, but they've not said no.
Yeah, which is always frustrating. But I'm guessing that's because there's behind-the-scenes decisions that they still have to run through, and they can't delay the whole results for that.
Yeah. Although it's weird to think what delays they could be running into.
Maybe it's the stability of the build.
But they can redesign it so drastically. We've seen that with sets before. And it doesn't seem like it would be an IP that's hard for them to get hold of. So the only thing, a couple of people are suggesting it's maybe they already have a build for Snow White Cottage, and so therefore they're trying to work out whether they then kind of pass that over to the ideas team to work on, or do they say, no, we're not doing the ideas one, and then release their own set. That has a tendency to upset people.
If they were going to do that, then saying it's a maybe is probably the wrong choice. If they're going to say no ultimately, then I don't think they should ever say maybe.
Yeah.
It just feels wrong. To say no later on because they couldn't get the IP or something, fine.
Yeah.
But to say it because, we already had something and we were just making a decision internally, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
I'd like that one.
Would be interesting. So if they do it based on the submission and it includes a Snow White, that would be the first Disney princess minifigure in quite a long time.
Apart from CMFs.
They've not done the CMS quite a while ago. That's why people keep talking about wanting a third series.
Yes.
You know, all of the recent Disney princess ones have been mini dolls.
Mini dolls, yeah.
Including the Ice Castle.
Yeah.
Which a lot of people were annoyed by.
I think it was
the right choice.
Yeah, I agree.
So, could it be the first Lego Ideas set with mini dolls?
Would that be a good thing or a bad thing?
I don't know. If we think mini dolls should take over Lego, then it's probably a good thing.
I'm not sure we think that. I think you think it would be an option. I'm all for the minifigures.
I think the cottage itself looks nice.
Yep, I like the colours. Nice and bright. Looks like what it's meant to. I like the dwarves. It was mentioned that there would be an issue with all the moulds for the dwarves, but I don't know how
why
different.
would there be multiple moulds? I didn't understand that.
I don't know how what you really need that's different. You give them beards. You give them different coloured hats.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. There's no facial moulds, really.
No, you'd have different facial prints for them, because some wear glasses and some don't, and stuff like that. But
I think the only thing you might need is something for Dopey to give him ears.
Yes.
Because Dopey's ears are important.
Yes.
That's the only thing. But saying that you need a different mould for every dwarf to give them that difference, I don't know. I don't think you do. That kind of goes against what minifigures are designed to be, and that is a representation, not an exact likeness.
So I guess the question is then, how long is it going to be before we find out a decision? Is it that will be in the next set of results.
Yeah,
So,
Sonic took a long time, didn't it?
Yeah, and the
Because
Anatomini took a long time as well, didn't it? Because that was the other one that they said maybe to, and that eventually
that was
turned to a no. And then it went into Bricklink Invitational, and it's now been pulled out of the Bricklink Invitational because they just couldn't work out how to build it.
Yeah. So I think Sonic, it was still under consideration for the next set of results, and it was then the results after that it came out. So
yeah, so it can take a while before we find out, but we're assuming the Sonic one was an IP thing, whether they could get the IP, whether they were willing to pay for it, something along those lines. As we said with Snow White, that there shouldn't be those issues.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll find out soon. But
I guess we will wait and see. But
yeah,
that's definitely one on my list if it does get approved, because I love me some Disney.
Yeah. So there was one other thing that I wanted to talk about with Lego Ideas. I know this is quite a long podcast, but go for it anyway. So I was thinking back to the previous round. And so we talked about the results of this one on London Calling. Previously on a London Calling, they talked about the sets that are going into the next review.
Yeah,
which we also did
covered. A podcast on.
And there was a big thing about the women in computing.
Yeah.
And then last week we talked about aiming sets at genders.
Yes, in our podcast last week, the gender bias.
Yeah. And a lot of people said that the women in computing set's really good because it encourages girls into STEM.
Okay.
But does it encourage girls into STEM if it's done through Lego Ideas, which all has an 18 plus range on it?
Well, no, because at that point you've kind of missed the boat, haven't you?
Yeah.
You can't encourage someone into some...
Yeah, all of the stats show that in order to get more women into technical, like, computing jobs, they need to have the degrees. To get them into the university courses, they need to have the A-levels. To get them into the A-levels, they need to have the correct GCSEs. You know, so you have to be getting them when they're teenagers.
Yeah.
So an 18 plus range misses it. And I worry that Lego Ideas putting everything as 18 plus is a bad idea. It makes it harder for them to push these sets where they should really go.
Yeah. Oh, is it that they aren't going to put everything as 18 plus, and it just seems that way right now?
They put Winnie the Pooh as 18
They did
plus.
put Winnie the Pooh, and no one has quite worked out why.
No. And Sesame Street.
Well, you know, Sesame Street is very adult.
It is very adult.
Yeah. I think you've got to cut them some slack, though, given that they just brought out the 18 plus and they were super excited about it. Like, let's whack it on everything because we want to
Maybe
push it that way. I think they're going to realise we need to differentiate between sets that are genuinely aimed at the adult market and ones that we need to encourage people into certain career paths and their other market, which is the children.
Yeah.
So I think it will fade a little bit over time.
Let's hope so. Because again, Snow White, should that be aimed at adults? Should that be aimed at kids? Do you get a different set depending on which it's aimed at?
I mean, the Disney range is not aimed at adults.
No.
And the Ice Castle, which is a big enough build that you could put an 18 plus on, that wasn't an 18 plus build, was it? So that was a Disney range.
That's true.
So I think they applied some logic there.
Yeah.
Keep it in the Disney brand. Don't be silly.
Okay.
So I would say the results weren't ridiculously surprising.
No.
Nothing too upsetting for us. And we look forward to the next one.
Yep.
So let us know your thoughts on the recent Lego Ideas results in the comments below or via Instagram if you can catch us there. Also, don't forget to subscribe wherever you're listening. If you want to listen to any previous episodes, then you can catch those all on YouTube. And we'll catch you next week. Bye!
Bye.